Hey friends, I wanted to post a video this morning and let you know about a modern day martyr, several of them actually. In 2004, on March 15th, 5 Southern Baptist missionaries had went up to northern Iraq where they were serving because they'd heard that there was a group of refugees essentially living in an abandoned warehouse facility. And when they got there, they found the reports to be absolutely true. And so when they were communicating and ministering to these people, they asked, hey, how can we help? And their desperate plea was for water. These hundreds of people had little to no water left. And so the missionaries started formulating a plan and they left. And as they were going through Mosul, it was downtown Mosul in Iraq. It was a very busy time and they were intersection, and they stopped at an intersection, and all of a sudden they found themselves surrounded by armed men with AK-47s and RPGs, and they were shot up to pieces. In fact, there were 4 missionaries who was killed and 1 who survived. Larry and Jean Elliott were killed. Karen Watson was killed. David McDonald was killed, but his wife, even though she was shot 22 times, Carrie McDonald lived. And the reason I'm here at First Baptist in Lamar, Colorado, was where the funeral for David McDonald took place. And that reality, as I was here for a meeting today, just kind of set in that they gave their lives for the cause of Jesus Christ. But I wanted to read a letter that Karen Watson had left her pastors at her home church, and in case of her death, because she knew they were going to a very dangerous spot there in Iraq. It was during ISIS time, was in full force there in Iraq, and they knew what they were doing was dangerous, but they knew that Christ was worth it. But here was a letter that Karen wrote. She said this: "Dear Pastor Phil and Pastor Roger, you should only be opening this letter in the event of my death." It's hard. When God calls, there are no regrets. I tried to share my heart with you as much as possible, my heart for the nations. I wasn't called to a place, I was called to Him. To obey was my objective, to suffer was expected. His glory was my reward, His glory is my reward. One of the most important things to remember right now is to preserve the work. I am writing this as if I'm still working among my people group. I thank all of you so much for your prayers and your support. Surely your reward in heaven will be great. Thank you for investing in my life and my spiritual well-being. Keep sending missionaries out. Keep raising up fine young pastors. In regards to my service, keep it small and simple. Yes, small and simple. Just preach the gospel. If Jason Buss is available or his dad, have them sing a pretty song. Be bold and preach the life-saving, life-changing, forever eternal gospel. Give your glory and honor to our Father. And then she wrote or had this poem, and it said that it's entitled "The Missionary's Heart." Care more than you think is wise. Risk more than you think is safe. Dream more than some think is practical. Expect more than some think is possible. I was called not to comfort or success, but to obedience. And then she gave some scripture verses that she thought would be relevant. And then she said this: there is no joy outside of knowing Jesus and serving Him. I love you too and my church family. In His care, Salam, Karen. Friends, there are still modern day martyrs out there, and there are still men and women, maybe that's you, who God is calling to pick up the flame of the gospel of Jesus Christ and to proclaim it to the nations, no matter the risk. So friends, especially this Christmas season and this holiday season where we give to the Lottie Moon Christmas offering, give generously, but don't just give of your wallets. Friends, give of your lives, because Christ is worth it. God bless.